Hey guys, it is Alex.da.bibliophile. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my July hopefuls. Let's get into it. Alright, so today we are going to go over my July hopefuls, which is big because typically I don't do a hopeful list or a TBR for the month because I am such a big mood reader. But I decided that I will prioritize a few books and see if I can actually read these books or stick to the goal. So you guys know I am 90% audiobooks, so I will have a few audiobooks that I plan to listen to for the month of July. And then there are a few physical books that I will either read physically or read physically and do audio, so like the immersive read. I said this before, but like sometimes I'll pick up a book and I'm into it at first and then I'm just not into it, and either I'll put it down or I'll just like put it down for a little bit. It's also not rare that I'm reading 2 or 3 books at a time or listening to 2 or 3 books at a time. It's just kind of like whatever fits my mood for that day, then that's kind of what I'm going to go for. I'm sure I'm not alone on that. So far I've picked out 3 physical books that I really want to prioritize. The first one is All My Sisters and Me. This is by Cheryl Lister. We actually received this book at Black Romance Book Fest. It is an advanced copy. So it's this book right here. It's funny because like when I got back from Black Romance Book Fest, my mom was like, hey, let me see what you got. And I was like, I heard this one was pretty good. It sounds real messy. So I gave her a copy of this book and she finished it in like 2 days. And then she was like, yep, you got to read that one. So I'm excited to read this one so then I can talk about it with my mama. But All My Sisters and Me by Cheryl Lister. Again, this one comes out in September. And this is the advanced reader copy. And I know it's about like a family and more so like the sister-in-laws in the family and kind of like what that relationship looks like. So this will be my first physical that I will prioritize. Then we have The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop. I know this one came out a few months ago, but I haven't had the opportunity to actually pick it up and read it. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. I have heard positive reviews on this book, so I'm definitely going into it with an open mind. I know some people were saying like, oh, in comparison to Only for a Week, it's definitely a slow burn. However, this is a second chance romance. So I'm sure it's going to be good because I love me a second chance romance. So this will be the second physical book that I prioritize. Now, the third book is this book that I recently picked up from the bookstore. And it is Master of Poisons by Andrea Harrison. I have never heard of this author, so she is a new to me author. And I got this for $9.99. Y'all, why do they put these stickers on here? I absolutely hate when they put stickers. And then why you put it on the front of the book? Like, anyway, I picked this one up because of the cover. It was just something about it. I don't know if it's the yellow. I don't know if it's the side profile. The kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but like the bee, there's like a bee up there and then you can see like the honeycomb. It was something about this book that I was like, it sounds interesting. Now, I will say I read a little bit into it, and this is a fantasy. Nothing about this cover, nothing about this title would have made me think that this was a fantasy book, but it's like a let's see exactly how they define it. It is an African folktale fantasy, so definitely something different, and she thick. So this one will be an immersive read. I was able to get the audio on Audible, and I think it's like a 15-hour audio. So I'm looking forward to actually doing immersive reading with this one, and hopefully I can come back and tell you if this book was worth it. I think it came out in 2020, so it's been out for a while, but I have never heard of the author or the book, and it looks very interesting. So I will have follow-ups on this book. All right, let's grab my phone. So as far as our audiobooks are concerned, I am going to read Christina C. Jones's book, Wonder. I heard that that was a really good book, so I am looking forward to picking that one up. I'm also going to do Z Renee All In. And then I'm going to do They All Fall in Love at the End by Haley Blasingame. I believe that's how you say it. So those are the books that I'm going to try my best to commit to. But I will say one thing, like, I know I am a bookish influencer, but I am also heavily, heavily influenced because I'll go on Threads or IG or TikTok and y'all are talking about books and I'm like, oh my God, the hype. I need to read that book. And then sometimes I'm completely ignoring that and just like saving it to my TBR to be read later. It really just depends. I don't always fall for the hype and read the most hyped books, but sometimes I definitely do. So as it stands right now, those are the books that I'm going to get into for July. Hopefully my mood reading will not come in and knock me off of my goals. However, I am easily influenced. So tell me what you plan to read in the comments for July. And until next time, guys, happy reading.